almost 20 years there, and you got another mate, and you're just like, this is just the best thing in the world. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, every day when we've got the cameras out or the drones or whatever, like it's just every day you go, oh, I'm just really glad that I'm doing this, and I'm thankful for it big time. Not in a spiritual way or anything. I'm just like, oh, you know what, like I hope this never ends, because I'd just be screwed without it.
Yeah, like it's one of them things where I suppose, as the saying goes, like if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Like you're in that spot where there isn't an aspect of it that you don't enjoy, so you just get knee deep.
Oh, believe me, though, it took me a long time to get to that place, because like another thing I'd say is that if you're going to start a business or whatever, have someone that's the exact mirror opposite of you to work with. Because when we first started this off, I was just scared stiff. I was about to get married and buy a house, and he was like, right, we're going to do this or not. And Dean is really he's one of those guys where he'll push you into a situation, like not in a horrible way, like a very caring way, but he sort of pushes you that bit further than what you can do yourself. And that's how the business started. So yeah,
it's nice though to have that person to say, when you're in that situation where you're not on your own. So like you said before about anxiety and adrenaline, you never know which one you're going to get, but there's always someone next to you who you know has those same emotions, or is driving you from like, you can do it. Just have a little bit of faith in yourself, have a bit of faith in the project, and then now you have projects like with Rob and Mary Berry and things like that no one can ever take away. And you're like, yeah, I did jump in. I wasn't 100% at the outset, but now look at what we've produced. Look at what we've got from it. So
who knows if we'll ever get one again that exciting. I mean, I'm more than happy to, film anything. I mean, we filmed Japanese robots the other day. That was exciting. I'm a geek, so that was cool. And then Friday we're doing something else with horses. So I'm happy doing whatever it is. I mean, if another one, because sort of celebs and stuff, they're all right, but they're not the be all and end all. But it was like, if one of them comes up again, that'd be cool. But it's just in 3 years, you go, no way, we've actually done quite a lot in 3 years. Yeah. Like we've really pushed ourselves. And if it was all to come to an end, like tomorrow, then I'd look back and I'd go, you know what, that was a badass 3 years, man. And my CV is increased tenfold.
Yeah, you've loved it. So then, is there then like you said before, you're filming Robot last week, Horses next week. Is there a dream project, or is there a kind of, whether it's a movie project, a TV, a video, a music video, or something like that? Is there something that you kind of, I don't want to say aspiring to, because every day is different, like you mentioned before, but is there something that you think, if I got the opportunity to do that I would have felt like that's a milestone for the business, that one?
It's like weird, that? There's for the business, I guess starting to move into TV would be really cool. And then personally, like, we have very little time, because obviously, this is what we do, this is how we earn money, so we're always focused on the business side of stuff. But personally, like, I think we've got in the pipeline to do a music video soon. Okay. And it's very hard for us usually to step away and be creative. I know that sounds really odd, but to be completely free with your own ideas and to have the kit to do it is the dream. Because I remember when we were at university, like, and we're talking a long time ago, man, like, it was kind of like we'd rent cameras out at the weekend and we'd film stuff, and then we'd put a little film together, and we could be completely free and creative. As well with the business, it's all about, okay, we've got to pay these bills, we've got to earn money and stuff. Yeah. But with this music video that's hopefully coming up, that's our chance, just in our downtime in the sort of winter months, just to go, right, let's just go and do whatever we want. So yeah, a chance to do whatever we want is on a personal level, and in business level, let's just keep going. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah. Do you find then, like you just mentioned, then being free and being creative yourself, do you find with a number of your projects that you do get a strict brief, or are people kind of easy with, this is where we are, and this is ultimately what we would like is something similar to?
Yeah.
So you get to play around, or do they come in and say, listen, this is the deal, this is what we want?
Yeah, you get it's 50-50, to be fair with you. I mean, it depends what people want shooting. It depends on the product that they're shooting or what they're trying to advertise. It also depends on the company's beliefs and brands and the brand itself. Like, we do a lot of healthcare work, so you have to think very carefully about how you're going to do that, and we've come up with a set format for that sort of stuff. But then because we're sort of filmy geeks as well, it's like, oh, let's try this and let's try that, and some people are like, maybe no.
Yeah, that's a little too edgy.
But yeah, one of the great projects we did was for SDL Solutions, which is a bioenergy company, and that was great because that was a cool brief, because they were like, we want to advertise our project, we want to educate people on what it is, and we also want to attract we also want to take the video into schools and show kids what we're about. And they were like, just go for it, and it was just wicked. So we just sort of storyboarded all this stuff, and we did loads of early morning drone stuff and loads of nice slow motion stuff, and it was just, we could be really creative with a subject matter that was not exactly thrilling, but we made it quite beautiful in the end. So no, it's cool. But yeah, everything's different. You never know.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So then I suppose for any of our listeners who are new to video and new to kind of content in general about how to position themselves, their business or their personal brand, is there any kind of top tips that you would say if you wanted to get into video and it was just you, or it was a small business or something like that? What would you say would be the key things to get in?
Okay, so this is difficult because now LinkedIn's got its video feature, and you've got loads of people sort of talking to cameras and whatnot, and I'd love to know what the actual rate is of people actually clicking on them and watching them all the way through.
Yeah,
I think we've reached a point of ultimate saturation with content, and I'm not just talking about video, I'm talking about everything. I think when the time comes and this planet finally dies, there'll be digital archaeologists or whatever that'll look back and they'll find smartphones with this many photos on, and there'll be this many. I think there's so much stuff now. But in regards to video, sorry, I sort of went off on one then about my own personal hate for too much content. And my vision of a future with aliens coming and finding smartphones. But yeah, I think if you're going to do it, think about the purpose. Is that why are you doing it?
Yeah.
And are you going to be consistent with it? So are you going to do more of it? Are you going to do an Instagram video on your account and never do it again? Is it going to be followed up with more news, for example? So you're going to do one video, you're going to carry on and go, right, okay, well, after last week. So kind of like what you're doing with your podcast. Like, you've got to keep going with stuff and you've got to be consistent with it. Yeah. But also it has to have a point, I think. I don't know. You don't want to be sort of going, hi, we're here and we're doing this, and then the next one is, hi, yeah, I'm having potato waffles for dinner, and then it's like, okay, right, okay, well, does that really? I don't know if it does anything. Yeah, and I always think if a business is small, I think it's really important because it gets you out there and stuff, but also think about the quality of it as well. Just think about, can you film something in such a way that it makes it look like you've maybe put a bit more time or money into it? So if you're going to do a piece to camera, really think about the room you're in. Think about, is the back of you lit, or are you using the window as a natural light source? All these sort of things. Just think about what it is you're presenting to your audience, because you never know who's watching. That's the thing.
That's the thing. And like we just mentioned it earlier on, just before we kind of started recording, was that do some people post on social, whether it is an image or a caption or a video, whatever it might be, just to say, I still exist? And what's the reason, what's the why in the content? If there's no why, then there's no reason to post it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? It's like we're always trying to stay afloat. We're all in the ocean and we're all trying to stay afloat with our heads above the water. And if we don't post, we sink.
Well, that's it. And I think sometimes, like, people do see, like, content machines, like, we are, for argument's sake, I follow Gary Vee, just as an example, and the amount of content he churns out is unbelievable. Yeah, fair enough, he's got an entire team behind him, but someone starting out, or someone looking at, what should I do, how should I do it, would look at someone like that and think, I have to post 10 videos a day, every day for 4 months, because that's what the best in the business do.
The thing is, though, yeah, like, the man is a machine, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's it, though. Like, I don't think I see a lot of his content. Some of it I watch, some of it I don't. But then, does it all resonate? Does it all have a point? And how much of it is repeated, and how much of it is kind of recycled over and over again?
Oh yeah,
you do see similar things all the time, and it is, like you mentioned before, is there a point to it? Is it valid? Is it consistent? then we look
Yeah, I
at.
think with him, he's kind of his own. He's a machine in terms of he is his own brand now, and he's kind of because when you need a bit of inspiration, he's really interesting.
Yeah.
But every day, it's just, and sometimes it can come across quite aggressive, and not all of us need to be woken up or inspired every single day. And sometimes I think it gets a little bit monotonous, and you're like, oh, okay, Gary Vee's here and he's telling me to do it, and don't be scared. And if there's a cliff, just jump. And you're like, okay, mate, I kind of get it. But the thing is, he is his own brand, and he's using that for his own gains as well. It's not always, that he's not just doing it just to inspire business people.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He's his own brand, and he's making a hell of a. I mean, fair play to him. But I mean, it must every day you must get up and go, oh, I've got to do another video.
Yeah.
What should I do today?
It is.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, right, what you got to think is, mobile phones now, the cameras in them are absolutely stunning. Now, back in the 80s or whatever, you had like VHS cassette cameras and DV cams in the 90s and stuff, and then you finally got to HD. You can put out some really good stuff with using your phone, Adobe Premiere Clip, which is a little editing package you can get from just Google Play Store or from iTunes, and you can make really nice little pieces, top and tail it with a graphic or some music and stuff, and put it out there. So it's worth going the extra mile and just seeing what you can do.
Just seeing if it's different. So then, what are your views on, like you just mentioned the Dolby software before, and we mentioned about the sheer volume of content that people put out and the reasons why, afford, and all this kind of stuff. What's your views on that kind of edited, clean, really nice visual content versus the likes of an Insta story that is maybe a bit shaky, maybe a bit more real life, if you want to call it that?
Yeah, it's
still
funny.
Has value.
It's because I really love documentary film and documentary TV and stuff, so I like a bit of shake every now and then.
Okay.
But so I think if you haven't got the money to have a really polished piece and stuff like that, then that's fine. Then your aspiration, I suppose, is to build up the business until you can do that. But what I would definitely do is, and to be fair with you, we should probably do more of it, is have your polished piece, but use Insta stories or whatever, or regular video posting to keep your customers updated to what's going on or what products you've got coming out or whatever. Use your polished piece as your advert. This is who we are. This is what we do. Look at this. We've spent money on this. And then let the customers meet you. So, we've got a new product out, this, that, and that. I think it's because I remember like back in the in 2000 or like late 90s or whatever, like when we were at universities, like people would talk about corporate videos and stuff, and like a business had paid God knows how much to have a corporate video that had lasted them 4 or 5 years. Yeah. And now it's like you need to have more than one. And I think that's where Insta Stories fits in. It fits alongside your other promotional materials, be it print, photography, podcasts, whatever.
It is, and I think those polished pieces as well, when you have a long branded video, can become 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 different pieces of story content as well to support that. This is what's launched, this is what's new, but then you have that nice, clean.
That's it. I mean, what we're starting to do now is say to clients and stuff like, okay, well, we'll do this main piece, but we're going to keep all this stuff, and we're going to give you copies of it if you want to create content on your own, but using the stuff that we've shot. And we're also now, as value added, sort of offering people sort of idents and stuff for Instagram and stuff, where it's maybe 10 seconds, 12 seconds, but it's just a very small piece of a larger piece. Like I recorded a cycling race and for my local team, and I was like, I said, I'll cut you a film together, and then I'll do you some idents and stuff, and we put them all out on Instagram, and they got quite a following and stuff, and they've had a few new members join. So you can create a lot from 1 or 2 days filming. I mean, we filmed 3 days for 3 minutes worth once.
Wow. Okay. What was that project?
That was like a expo at the NEC, and it was just like a mad one, and you were just filming everything. Because the thing is, the worry is, as video producers, is that if you don't get enough when it comes to the edit, you're screwed. Yeah. So we record. Hell yes. So you record, and then afterwards, 1, you've got the client's got loads more to choose from, and 2, you've got a way easier life. as an editor. I remember when I was a kid, like you talk to, like they come around, or you go to careers meetings or whatever, and you'd have people from TV come in and they go, "Oh yeah, an editor is one of the most lonely jobs in the world. You'll see him in dark rooms with coffee and red eyes and loads of cigarettes." And it's totally true. If you haven't got the right stuff, then it can be a long process.